Lights up!
Everybody, and welcome to the latest episode of Lights Up, Putney Theatre Company's podcast. I'm here today with the entire cast of It's a Wonderful Life, because there's 4 of them, each playing a multitude of roles apart from Matt, because you're playing...
Just George.
Are we calling him Just George?
Well, I mean, you have to see. Maybe you define him as more than just George, but in my head he's just George.
So you just get to play George, but the 3 of you, so we have Nicole... We have Ben and we have Rob. Now, 3 of you are brand new to Putney, but Rob, you're an old-timer now. This is your 3rd show.
Yes, since the summer, since the box set.
You see, we found you, we would never let you go. Sorry. So now you're playing, how many people are you playing?
Actually, Ben and I were having a chat about this just a few minutes ago. I think it works out about 10.
Oh, wow. 10 each? Or
yes,
10 between you?
7 for me, 10 for Rob.
That's bonkers. And Nicole, I know you're playing Mary and also Angel Clarissa.
Yes. You know what? I've never actually counted exactly how many characters I'm doing. I think it's about 6.
So it's basically the whole population of Bedford Falls between you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
Exactly.
Right. Now, this is a stage adaptation of Frank Capra's 1946 film, which I think everybody in the world probably has seen. It is the most heartwarming, glorious Christmas tale that ever was told. How has that been worked in a stage adaptation? Nicole, you go first.
Yes, so of course a lot of people, now including yourself, Cait, have seen the movie, but I do like that the stage adaptation is quite different. Obviously, for starters, we have actors playing multiple characters, which you don't really see in the film, but we have, I don't want to give too much away, obviously, but we have made some of our own changes in terms of the characterizations for a lot of them, and I think we just also want to keep to the joyous tone of the story, because obviously there are some sad moments, but I think we've kept it fairly light-hearted as possible, and we're just going to make it a really enjoyable Christmas experience for everyone.
I can't wait. Now, you play George, Matt. Now, we start off the play. George is not in a good place, is he, Paul?
No, he's not. He's in a very bad place, dare I say. If you've seen the film, you know the bad place. If you haven't, you have to see the play.
Absolutely, exactly. So he's having a bit of a bad time. There's a sort of analogy to the Christmas Carol, isn't there, really? In the sort of the... Yeah. So he starts off...
He's pretty despondent. He's in a bad place. It's interesting even being in the play that we really don't know what's going on here. And that's probably, actually, now that I think about it, it's similar to the movie, too. We start off with, in the movie, the angels saying, George is in a bad place, and you never really know why until, 2/3 of the way through. So he's in a spot, though, where he's feeling very bad about his life, and we learn within the first 2 or 3 minutes of the play that this man is thinking of taking his life. And so there's this whole dramatic tension throughout the piece, and I realized Nicole was saying it's such a lighthearted piece, and here I am saying in the first 2 minutes we start off with this man wants to take his life, but I promise it is somewhat lighthearted. But there is this real pathos that runs throughout the piece of what is it that makes a wonderful life, and what is it that makes life worth living. And we all have those days when we feel as despondent as maybe George feels at the start of this play, and I think the beauty of this piece is by the end, hopefully everyone can see in it something that they feel makes their life as wonderful and worthwhile as we learn throughout this play that George's life really is.
Well, that's really interesting, isn't it? Because it's seeing your own life in isolation. And I think you're absolutely right. We can all sit here and say at moments it's not great, life isn't going brilliantly. But if you put it in the context of how you interact with everybody else and how important your interactions are with people, and that you don't even realise the impact you're having on other people's lives, and that sort of spreads ripples, that sort of ripple effect of what actually brings joy and love and sort of a sense of community and being good neighbours to us all. Oh, that was very schmaltzy, wasn't it? Should I put it on a t-shirt?
Yes.
There's so many one-liners in this show that can go on t-shirts. That in isolation, you want to roll your eyes out, but I swear in the show you hear them and you're like, I can't not agree with this.
Right, exactly. So it's all going to leave us with a very gorgeous, warm feeling in our hearts. Yes. Now, Ben, brand new as well, first show, 7 characters. All different. You play all different people in Bedford Falls. Who's your favourite character?
I think interesting from what Matt was saying about you look at these characters and actually because we are playing multiple characters, we see how they all interact with George and we see what role they have in getting him to that point from a young boy who's going to go out and conquer the world and build things to actually being despondent on the bridge and considering ending everything. And each role that we play, whether it be family member, Uncle Billy for me, through his own incompetence, whether it be Sam, a very good friend from school who goes off and makes all the money, so George compares his life to Sam, and in Rob's case some of the more antagonistic characters in the play and in the film, you see what role they have in shaping George, how he gets to the bridge looking down over the river. So I think favourites for me, I think it is playing that range of people and going from one scene where you're a very young kid to 2 lines later you come on as an old man. Which
I have to say, for an actor, it's a gift, isn't it? Playing lots of different roles.
Funny, actually, we went on a little costume trip yesterday.
Oh, to be a lovely Elizabeth Callow.
Time
yes.
Trying on waistcoats and thinking, actually, this waistcoat has 10 buttons and I have 3 lines to change, so that might not be a goer, really.
Velcro or not. Yes. Now, Rob, now you're playing 10 characters. I mean, that's just insane. How's it going?
Pretty well, I hope. If you've seen it, you've probably got an idea in your head of, to some degree, of what each of these characters are, and trying to kind of honour that without impersonating it. To be like, well, we need to take this and make it our own thing, while while still holding to the spirit of, the original Frank Capra.
Yes, but I'm sure the film is very different to the play. I mean, it has to be in just what you can do cinematically compared to what you can do with the confines of an actual stage itself.
Yeah, well, and we also, I think we've all kind of decided we're like not watching the film at all from the start of this process through to the end. Like we're not really allowed to watch the film.
No, good. Because I think even if you do, I mean, we did Shakespeare in Love, which is our previous production, and the film was out in 1998, which I would have sworn it was about 10 years old. Not 30. But again, I don't know. Did you watch the film?
No,
I didn't.
I held off till the day after the Get Out, and then I sat down and actually watched it. And that was fascinating in terms of how they moved things around and how a lot of the dialogue was still the same, but it'd been put into different characters' mouths. And
I imagine it's the same with this as well, because you can't have a whole, the amount of extras and the huge cast that you would have on a Hollywood film to hear. Now, Nicole, you play Mary and Clarissa.
Yes.
So the angel and the wife.
Exactly, yes.
Yes.
So George's love interest and his guardian angel, Clarissa. She's probably my favourite character to play. I've had a lot of fun with her. Made her very different from the film's version. Not that I even really remember, I haven't watched the film in years, but I know it's definitely a very different character. I won't give too much away what I've done with her.
It's a great role, isn't it?
It's a brilliant role.
Oh,
I love her.
Exactly.
Yes.
And don't forget, every time a bell rings, an angel
gets
gets
his
her
wings.
Oh,
I love that you said her wings. Thank you very much.
So the staging, now I understand Putney have very cleverly used the same aspects of Shakespeare in Love set for you guys for It's a Wonderful Life. So you're going to have the bridge. What else can we expect to see? Please, if there's not snow, I'm stopping this immediately.
I think we're all looking at each other, not sure how much we can give away, to be honest, Cait.
Oh.
We'd love to give some surprises to...
Yes, good, absolutely.
Yeah.
You don't want to tell me everything.
But it is, I mean, the really fun thing, I think, with this play is how much we're really evoking, I think just through, acting. I mean, it is, that hearkening back to just the most basic form of storytelling.
Yeah.
Which is just 4 people coming together and telling this story. And there's some really lovely, fun, clever moments, but it's not too much, insane, technical aspects of it. It really is kind of leaning into that storytelling vibe, I would say.
And with the 4 of you, I mean, you must be on stage all the time.
Pretty
Virtually.
much.
yeah, I don't think anybody's off for more than a couple of pages.
Wow. So so that's quite intense for you guys as actors to be. There's no time to take your foot off the pedal, basically.
I love it though, because then I'm constantly switched on. There's not a moment where you're sitting back and your energy drops. It's constantly high energy for all of us, which is great. It's a lot of fun.
It is. Oh, I can't wait to see it, guys. So we ought to mention your fabulous directors, the gorgeous Lois Savill and Cait Lawrence, the dream team. Now, you 3 won't know this, but or maybe you do. Maybe they've bored you silly every rehearsal, but they work together on Hound of the Baskervilles.
Yes.
How's it going with 2 directors?
amazing. Honestly, they're both such creative minds separately, and then when you put them together, it's amazing to watch. Just the ideas that they continuously have, and don't mean to speak on behalf of you guys, but I just felt like instantly I trust them. And I think that's obviously so important because, you know, with the multi-rolling, it has its challenges, but I was fully reassured straight away. We always have a laugh as well. I think it's really important to have a good time.
And they allow us to bring our own ideas as well to the
Yes.
table.
What, they're collaborative? How dare they?
It's really important when there's just 4 people.
It's a really good point. I feel like we have a lot of freedom to make our own choices with our characters.
With just 4, it is much more collaborative, I think. I think on something like Shakespeare in Love, when there's 26 cast members, that's a little bit more tricky. You can't have 26 voices.
Even just logistically, and say on this, I think the complication does come from its just the sheer energy of the piece, the back and forth, and how frequently everyone is switching characters, and managing to keep the spontaneity of that, but also coordinating it and giving the best version of that without losing. Exactly, essentially being like, I need this character needs to be distinct. But they, as you say, they need to not be pantomime. They need to be like, even if you've only got a couple of lines, an individual that the audience is going to go, okay, I think I understand who this person is.
And I'm assuming, Ben, you don't have very much time to do that, because if you're playing all these different characters, you've got to establish them quickly.
Some of them have to make big entrances, yes, I would say.
And then they're gone in a couple of pages, or do they come back?
Some may appear once and then, once in each half, really, for some of them.
Some may just pass by.
As literally a passerby in Bedford Falls. Now, I like doing this at the end of every podcast, is for the cast members to try and sum up the play, or the theme of the play, or a word that describes the play most to them. So the word that resonates with you most. I am going to go with Rob. You start us off.
Validation.
Ooh, validation.
Yeah, I think it's because, as Nicole was saying at the start, it's essentially a play about everyone's worth as a human being. And how you might not always be able to feel it, you might not be always able to say it, but the play is ultimately about validating and saying, you matter, you've had an impact. I think that's and wonderfully Christmassy as well.
Yes. Ben, over to you.
I would go for community.
Nice.
Looking at a community and one man's role in that community, all the good that he can do, his worth to that community, which he himself may not realise until he sees a community where he may not play a role.
Oh, so to see if he's absent, the impact that would actually have on the community as a whole. Mm-hmm. Liking it. Matt, what's your word for the play?
I'm going to say gravity, I think is my word, in the sense of orbiting something, being drawn to something. I think this is very much a play about what is it that we're drawn to, what is it that our lives revolve around, and over the course of life, maybe realizing what is the thing that's actually at the center of our lives that we're orbiting, so to speak. I mean, I think this really is a play about finding a center of gravity and realizing that thing that's holding the whole shebang together. And at the same time, maybe there's a double meaning there of there are some things in our life that have far more gravity than others. Yes. And the process of growing up is realizing what to give true gravity to and what to just let fly away.
Right, last word for you, my darling. What would you say?
Honestly, I would go with the word hope. It's, this story is all about how there is light at the end of the tunnel, and when things don't seem to be going your way, things will always pick up. And I sort of links with Ben's word of community as well. There's always that support. There's just a greater way of looking at things, and just to have, like you said at the beginning, Cait, to have that perspective and put things into perspective, really, and just look at the world around you and think, how much have I actually impacted? And you probably have had a great impact on so many people and so many things in your life. So don't let some things that aren't going so well take over on that, because there's always hope at the end of it.
Absolutely. And hopefully we all have a moment of reflection after seeing It's a Wonderful Life. It sounds like it is going to be joyful, hopeful, Christmassy, full of love, community. What were the other words? Validation and gravity. Yes. Oh, I can't wait. So guys, get your tickets. www.putneyartstheatre.org.uk. All the details on the website there. So get booking, my friends. This is just going to be the most joyful Christmas production. I really can't wait. So enjoy, and thank you so much. Good night. Goodbye.
Thank you.
This is a real Putney Theatre Company production. Do share the podcast with your friends and take a look at our website, searching online for the Putney Theatre Company. So that's it for now. See you next time.